De-dollarization is in full swing. New alliances are happening. Last year, when I said that world is moving towards world -1, you didn't believe. Today, where do we stand? Trump is high with drugs, meaning Trump looks like he is on drugs, and he is keeping USA economy on drugs as well. He knows what's coming. Let me take you back to April 2nd, 2025. A date that will go down in infamy or be hailed as the greatest economic gamble in history. In just 48 hours, $5 trillion in stock market value vanished into thin air. It was a plunge that rivaled the darkest days of the COVID pandemic. Yet, look around today. In January 2026, the S&P 500 is back at record highs. Gas is cheap. Unemployment is at 4%. Donald Trump is calling it the greatest success story ever told. But behind the curtain, economists aren't celebrating. They're terrified. This is a deep dive into the sugar high economy. Why Chechene is celebrating rise of USA? We're looking at why the 2026 crash might be inevitable and how we're currently running on a debt-fueled rush that's about to run out. Imagine you eat pure sugar, you get a rush, you feel unstoppable. That's the American economy right now. Tax cuts, massive deregulation, easy money, pressure on the Fed, the rush feels incredible. Bigger refunds and low gas prices. But if you don't balance sugar with nutrition, you crash. Hard. The nutrition in an economy is fiscal responsibility and sustainable growth. Right now, we're surviving on a deficit spending binge. The bill is coming, and it's going to be staggering. Trump promised inflation would vanish. The reality? It's a ticking time bomb. When he took office, inflation was at 3%. Today, it's hovering right around that same mark. But the Peterson Institute warns of a surge to 9% by late 2026. Why? 3 words: the tariff tax. Despite the rhetoric, China doesn't pay tariffs. You do. The average US tariff rate is now 17.7%. That's the highest since 1934. That translates to a $2,600 tax increase per household. It's not a theory, it's math. Then there's the labor shortage. Mass deportations have gutted construction and agriculture. When you remove workers, labor costs spike. When labor costs spike, production costs follow. When production costs go up, the price of your groceries goes up. Economists call this a supply shock. I call it shooting yourself in the foot to prove you have a gun. Trump is using the madman theory of economics. It's a gamble. Act so unpredictable that your enemies capitulate. In some ways, it worked. Samsung pledged $37 billion for Texas factories. Hyundai and Toyota followed suit. They built here to avoid the chaos. But the madman strategy has a shelf life. Once you blink, like Trump did during the Liberation Day market crash, the leverage evaporates. If the world stops believing the threat, the gun is revealed to be loaded with blanks. Let's talk about the One Big Beautiful Bill Act. Permanent tax cuts. No tax on tips, no tax on Social Security. It sounds like a dream. The nightmare? It's entirely unpaid for. Elon Musk's Doge initiative found $160 billion in savings. That's a drop in the bucket. Trump's agenda adds up to $7 trillion to the national debt over 10 years. That's the entire GDP of Germany and France combined. We're putting a renaissance on a credit card we can't pay off. So why is 2026 the year to watch? Right now, companies are absorbing the tariff costs to keep customers. Retailers are selling through old pre-tariff inventory. But by mid-2026, Those buffers run dry, the stockpiles will be gone, the margins will be exhausted. The full weight of the tariffs will hit the consumer all at once. The dam is going to break. The Trump economy looks strong on the surface, but underneath it's a wholesale rejection of the post-WW2 consensus. No more trade alliances, no more fiscal responsibility. Whether this is genius or madness depends on who blinks first. Historically, the world has a very good poker face. The sugar high is real, the rush is here, but the crash, it might be the biggest we've ever seen.